Hey guys, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I am working on my Willow Creek save file and I am completely redesigning the Gothic mansion that the Goth family lives in. So let's get started. So the Goth family is also one of the families that come with The Sims 4 and they live in Willow Creek. So there's 4 members of this family. We have Mortimer, who's the dad, Bella, who's the mom, Cassandra, their teenage daughter, and Alexander, who's their younger son. And the 4 of them are called the Goth family and they live in this Gothic mansion. So they're kind of a spooky, scary looking type of family. They wear a lot of dark colors, blacks, reds, kind of look like vampires almost. And Cassandra and Alex, their everyday outfits makes them look like they go to a posh and fancy private school. So anyways, I wanted to build them a house that really suited them and suited their style because they are a very distinct family and I definitely wanted to include them in my save file. When I was looking at the original Gothic mansion that came with Willow Creek, I was actually quite impressed. It might be because I don't usually build residential lots in this style, but I did really like what I saw. I liked the exterior and the interior. Even though the room layout was kind of confusing, you know, it had a lot of weird nooks and crannies and rounded corners and things like that, but I felt like it really suited the style of a Gothic mansion, so I tried to keep that in mind when I was redesigning their house. So here I wanted it to still have like a tower in the middle with a spooky attic, and I wanted the exterior to be really similar. I wanted it to have a lot of dark colors, blacks, gold, and I used a lot of the build items from the Get Together expansion pack. So I found that a lot of their windows and the doors in that pack had a medieval looking style to it, which I thought really suited this Gothic mansion style. So I ended up using a lot of items from that pack. But yeah, so this is one of the first mansions that I'm building for my save file. It's in a new neighborhood with bigger lots. So this whole neighborhood is going to be filled with mansions and more affluent families. And so I'm just really excited because I have a lot of fun ideas on what their neighbors would be like, and kind of interesting gameplay and story ideas with the different families that will be living close to them. So here I'm just finishing up with the exterior here. I chose a lot of black and gray bricks, different ones, to make certain parts of the house pop more, like certain hallways, certain towers, and things like that. And I kept the overall lot kind of like fenced off and private. I felt like Mortimer and Bella, you know, maybe they don't have a lot of guests over because their house looks kind of scary. You know, they probably look like the haunted house on this street. And so I made like a tall fence to kind of keep everybody out. Also, Bella is a secret spy, which is super cool. So I feel like she wouldn't really have guests over all the time and she's just more secretive and just tries to keep to herself and her missions. So as you can see in the backyard here, I added like a connecting patio, gazebo thing. They don't have a lot of green space on this lot. So the front yard and the backyard, there's nothing really too exciting. The landscaping is pretty simple as well. I'm adding some exterior lighting now. I tried to choose a lot of candle looking lights because I wanted it to look kind of like a historical or traditional mansion. And I also thought candle looking lights would look spookier anyways. So that kind of goes with the Gothic mansion style that I had in mind. For the overall floor plan here, I wanted there to be a grand foyer. So right when you come in, there's going to be a giant staircase. Again, lots of blacks, lots of reds and things like that. And I didn't want it to be an open room concept floor plan. So I wanted there to be lots of walls, lots of different rooms. You know, you have to walk through different hallways or corridors in order to get to a room. And I think that just adds on to this kind of spooky factor that this family has going on for them. So I tried to accent that with these arched entryways here, which again, I don't normally use for any of my residential or my family's suburban houses, but it was really fun to use this for these little rooms here. Yes, as you can see, adding more candles. When I was looking at the character traits for the Goth family, I was actually quite surprised because they're actually a really nice family. You know, I thought that maybe the parents or the kids would have some of like the mischievous traits or the crime traits and things like that. You know, I thought maybe Mortimeyer's like some mafia crime lord or something, but they're actually just a really nice family, and I feel like they're actually really happy together and they're not trying to do anything bad to anybody in Willow Creek at all. So I feel like the Goth family might be misunderstood very often, and people, you know, are a little reluctant to get to know them because they live in this spooky mansion and they keep to themselves and things like that. So I feel like this misunderstanding is increased because their house is like so creepy looking. So I tried to keep that in mind when I was decorating. Choosing the walls and the floors were pretty simple. I chose a lot of red wallpaper. I found that to be really scary. I would never have like red walls in my house because I just think it looks so scary. But I tried to balance it out with some gold wallpaper there. I also use this black and white tile, which I almost never use, in a house at least. But I think it looks really good, and I think it makes like the kitchen and the main foyer look a lot fancier than if I just had used black marble for everything. So here, as you can see, the floor plan is going to be 3 floors. So on the ground floor, we're going to have the living room, dining room, kitchen, laundry, all that kind of stuff. And then the second floor is going to be the bedrooms. So we have Bella and Mortimeyer's master bedroom. We have Mortimeyer's study and Cassandra's bedroom as well. And then Alexander, I wanted him to keep his room in the attic. So in the original house, even though like they live in like this giant mansion, Alexander has to live in this tiny like attic room at the top of the tower. And I always thought it was kind of funny and strange at the same time because I kind of felt like he was Harry Potter living in like this little closet room. And in the end, I thought that was pretty funny, so I decided to keep that. So unfortunately, Alexander does not get like a big fancy bedroom like his parents or his sister. He's still going to get the attic. So that's what I had in mind. So that's the 3rd floor. It's basically just Alexander's room. There's nothing else up there. I did contemplate adding a basement, but I decided not to in the end. And so we're just gonna get started now on decorating with the kitchen. So here I use the fancier old fridge there, and I use the cabinetry that allows me to see all the dishes in the taller version of the cabinet. I also put the stove in the middle of the island, which is something new that I don't usually do. And I added a lot of like hanging decorative items, like this pot and pan thing here that hangs from the ceiling. I feel like that's very extra, and it's kind of like what old mansions would have back in the day, you know, like Cinderella's mansion and things like that. So I added a lot of like older looking types of items. So this wall of cabinets here, I added a bunch of fancy looking dishes, wine, an espresso machine, and I also added a lot of red roses and flowers all around the house. I feel like Mortimeyer and Bella, they're actually a very romantic couple who are very much in love, and so there's going to be lots of these flowers filling out the rest of the house. So yeah, if your Sims needs to cook, there's definitely enough space on the main island here. And this kitchen is equipped with the dishwasher, microwave, all of those. Actually, no, I don't think I included a microwave because I assumed maybe they'd have a chef or a maid or something. So I didn't include that. But here we have the dining room, which I think turned out really great. I even had space to add like a little dining bar here, which I'm thinking the parents would be using since they don't really have friends coming over that much. And yeah, I just really liked how this room turned out, even though, again, I'm dealing with kind of awkward room layouts here. Usually I like to keep my rooms like square or rectangular, but with this mansion, you'll see that there's still a lot of curves and weird types of room layouts. So here we have a powder room here, just the toilet and the sink. And then on the other side, we're going to have the laundry room. I did try to add laundry rooms for most of my houses in the Willow Creek. I know that just adds on to your bills in terms of gameplay, but if I really think about living in a house, I would not want to add a laundromat to my town, so that's why. Here we have the main living room. Again, I really liked how this turned out. I really love the curtains as well. I debated about adding a TV. I eventually did add that. I originally didn't really want to add it because I wanted it to look like an old spooky mansion, but I decided to add the TV. So the TV and Mortimeyer's computer in his study are basically the two only technology in this house. And this little room here, I made it into like a grand piano room with a fireplace, so you can also relax, read here. And I just added some different kind of like artifact looking things on top of the fireplace mantle. And this is pretty much it for the ground floor here. Just moving on to the outside, I added a chess table, so logic skills can be built here. And as well, I'm gonna add a little outdoor patio dining here for the family of 4 if they wanna have tea time or anything like that. And that is pretty much it. The garbage disposals are on the other side of the backyard. Moving on to the upstairs, here we have Mortimeyer's study. So I felt like this study looked like it was fit for a Spanish mafia, but he's just an author. So he will be in this room writing his books, but it looks like, I guess, a scary kind of study. And then here we have the master bedroom. So again, a lot of blacks and reds. And I used a lot of expensive and antique looking furniture. I usually don't use this kind of like screen item either, but I thought it really suited this house. Added a little reading corner there, and then this master bedroom has a master bathroom attached to it. This bathroom is very big, but I feel like I made good use of the space. This one has a bathtub, lots of gold, black. I mean, I never use this black toilet, but I feel like it really suits this place. So all of the bathrooms use similar items, similar layout. I have the other bathrooms separated, so Cassandra's bedroom does not have a bathroom attached, and this one also has a shower that I added. So your Sims can have different moodlets and things like that that the bathtub doesn't allow. So just finishing up with this bathroom here that Alexander and Cassandra will be using, as well as any guests, I suppose. And then moving on to the hallways here, adding a lot of different candle lights because I noticed that the ceiling lights just weren't enough and it didn't look, I guess, it looked too dim. It wasn't bright enough. So here we have Cassandra's room. So she's a teenage girl. I chose purple for her bed and I chose a bit of a different colored furniture, so I added some purple chairs and things like that. But her room has a desk, so that's where she can do her homework and she can have some time to herself, and her dressers and everything is there. So this is her space and it looks pretty similar to the master bedroom, honestly. And here we have Alexander's room in the attic. So his room is really, really small. I was still able to add a desk for him so he could do his homework there, a mirror, a dresser, and I added a violin, which he already has the violin skill actually, so that's why I added that. And that is it for my Gothic mansion. So yes, this is quite a big residential lot, and it took me quite a while to create with the floor plan and everything, but I had a lot of fun and this is really different, so I'm really glad that I came up with something that really suited the Goth family and their style. So if you like this video, please comment on what you think I should build next, and until then, thank you for watching. Toodles!